right here. What an awesome pass through the slot, onto the stick of Batherson. Kachuk in tight up, let's get got it, scores! Brady Kachuk wins it in overtime for Ottawa.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sens Talk. We are joined here with a gold medal champion in the World Championship, World Junior Championship, a first round selection of your Ottawa Senators, Jacob Bernard Docker. Thank you, Jacob, for joining the show. How are you doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
I like the backdrop there. You're in the arena right now?
Yeah, we just finished practice.
How was that, eh?
It was good. We got a lot of games here, so definitely lighter practice day today, which was nice.
Was it a bit of a tougher practice after, a tough loss last night to Laval?
Not really. I think for us, it was just coming into the day and trying to flush that and forget about and take what we can. But I think trying to focus on tomorrow as much as we can.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, your friend from UND, Jake Sanderson, signed this entry-level deal. What are your thoughts about that? That's obviously a big thing. Obviously, you're friends, but more importantly, big part of the organization. So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, really well deserved. Sandy had a great year, and I think he's had a bit of a tough time with injuries lately. So it's too bad we can't see him play with the Sens right now. But I'm sure he'll be back there soon, and I'm excited to see him play. Have
you gotten to speak to him ever since he signed that contract?
Yeah, I did. I reached out and just said congrats, and but other than that, not a whole lot.
Now, I want to move on to your World Junior Championship appearance and, of course, the World Championship appearance. That World Championship appearance took place in 2021. We all know Nick Paul, Connor Brown connected for that gold medal goal in overtime. What was that whole experience like, especially since it was COVID? You're in another continent, no fans in the crowd, really real weird. But what was your experience like there?
Yeah, it was awesome for me. I had those 5 games with Ottawa, but then just getting a little bit of extra experience there, at the end of my first year. And I think that just really helped me, kind of see some of the habits that those older pro guys have. And obviously anytime you can wear that maple leaf, it's, really special. So that was a great experience for me.
That locker room seemed pretty tight knit too, because, infamously now, I guess, Canada started off pretty rocky in that tournament. I think they were like 0-3. Then you all won your next like 4 games or something. It was a pretty remarkable turnaround, complete 180. So what was that locker room like? Obviously, like you said, you played 5 games in Ottawa before going over to Europe, but you had a couple of teammates there, Nick Paul, Connor Brown. So, was that a little easier to kind of move into a different kind of culture, different type of locker room in a weird COVID time to have guys from the previous locker room like Connor Brown, Nick Paul? Did that make the transition a little easier? And more importantly, was the locker room, it looked pretty tight knit?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, not the start we wanted there in that tournament, but yeah, having Paulie and Brownie there was good for me. And creating a relationship with those two was really nice to go in there and know those two. So it kind of made me a little more comfortable. But all the guys were really good, and we did some team building stuff and got together pretty quick. So yeah, obviously when you go to a team like that, a lot of guys maybe played together in the past and have, know each other or know of each other at least. So, it wasn't too hard to come together there.
Yeah, I want to transition now to the World Junior Championship, because similar type of thing, it was an interesting tournament for Canada there too. Obviously a great win there at the end, incredible gold medal game. What was that experience like? Especially that building was rocking that day. I remember it. It was crazy. So, what was that experience like in 2020 for that World Junior Championship, getting that gold medal, once again representing Canada, having the maple leaf on your chest? Obviously, it's something important to you. What was that like?
Yeah, I think that was definitely probably I'd say probably the highlight of my hockey career so far. Being able to win there at the World Juniors with my entire family over there too. So that was super special, and I've got so many fond memories from that tournament still. So that's something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
I've always wondered, because these are tournaments, they're not seasons. So do players get to keep like the gloves, jerseys? Do they kind of get to keep stuff to keep for like post-career they can look back on? I've always kind of wondered that type of thing.
Yeah, they gave us, I think, our black jersey,
cool.
Which we ended up wearing for a lot of the games. I remember, I think we wore white and reds, and then we were playing okay, and then we wore blacks one game and had a really good game, and then the rest of the tournament, they kind of just kept asking us what we wanted to wear, and we just kept wearing black. So that was kind of fun. And yeah, so they gave us that jersey to take home.
That's awesome. Do you have other stuff, like obviously you've been in Belleville for a bit of time. You had, some experiences now with Ottawa and the NHL. Do you have a lot of like stuff to keep for your post career? Like I'm sure you're gonna have like a man cave or whatever, with all your accomplishments on one wall. Do you have some cool stuff that you've gathered through the years?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've got an Ottawa jersey, and then I've got my draft hat, from Dallas that day, and a few Hockey Canada jerseys and stuff like that. So, Hockey Canada actually does a really good job of, they send out a portrait, for a tournament. So they'll send out, for the World Championships and the World Juniors, they'll send out a team picture, and then, below would be like the team picture of us with medals or worth the trophy or whatever. So they do a pretty good job of kind of keeping you in the loop and sending you some stuff to have those memories.
That's awesome. And once again, I appreciate you taking the time to answer that, because obviously I don't play in the NHL. I don't know what the sort of normality is there, so that's pretty cool to hear, especially to hear Hockey Canada taking good care of y'all. I want to move it back to the playoff battle. Like I said at the beginning of this interview, y'all unfortunately lost 5-1 to the Laval Rocket last night. Tough loss. But y'all, as of late, have been playing really, really good. Cole Reinhardt, especially, a couple goals as of late. I mean, what's that locker room like right now as you're in the battle in that North Division for one of those final playoff spots? What's the mentality like right now? What's the vibes like?
Yeah, our division's super tight. So I think every game matters right now. And we had a good week last week, and be the top team in our conference twice, and then we've lost the last two. But I think going forward, I think we got 8 games left, so it's just about kind of focusing and zoning in on these ones. And I think it's kind of in our own hands at this point. We can kind of see the positives and take what we want, or kind of get down this rabbit hole. If we keep being negative with each other and stuff like that. But guys in the room are super good, and obviously sometimes emotions boil over, and I think we kind of experienced that in our last 2 games here. And I think we just kind of need to move forward, and I got no doubt that we're going to get in. Yeah,
well, during moments like that, the captain, like who are the main catalysts in that locker room that, obviously I play baseball, any team, when they go through some adversity, there's going to be a bit of fireworks in the locker room. That's normal. But you need strong leaders to squell those, abrupt explosions, right? So I know you guys have a good locker room. I've had the pleasure of speaking to a few guys in that room. Great guys. But I'm sure you guys have a strong leadership group that helps you guys push through that to get to the main goal, which is to make the playoffs, win a Calder Cup, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of guys that are have been veterans in this league for a while, and I think it starts at the top with Shazi. He's an awesome captain, and him and Aggie have probably been around the longest, I'd say. And they're really good with everyone, and helping the young guys out, and just talking to us. And they've obviously been in these games coming down at the end that might feel like there's a little more pressure in them. So they're definitely a good shoulder to lean on.
Now, I wanted to ask you, you've been paired a lot this season with Dylan Hetherington, who also has some experience in the National Hockey League even this season. So what's that been like? He's a veteran defender, has played hundreds of games in pro hockey. That must really help your development and help steady things on the ice.
Yeah, he's been awesome for me. And we actually trained together in Calgary in the summer too. So, I knew him before the season. And so it's been awesome. He's an absolutely unbelievable guy. And on the ice is just so calm, and sometimes I come off and maybe I'm a little heated, and I just look over at Heater, and he's just always focused and calm, and I'm trying to be a little more like that. So he's been great for me.
And that's awesome. I didn't know you guys had that relationship. Do you think that was a part of the reason Ottawa brought him in the first place, to kind of be your defense pairing, to kind of help settle your game, help further develop your game? Because obviously your first round pick, 2 gold medals. I mean, you're obviously really talented, and obviously having a guy that can trust, have good relationship with, certainly will help too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they brought him in because of me, but I think obviously having him here is great for me, and I'm just trying to learn as much as I can from him and his experience. So it's been a really fun pairing.
What's some good advice that Hetherington, if you can share with us, has given you? Because obviously, like you said, you're young. Like you said, sometimes after shifts you're a little heated. What's some good advice?
Yeah, I don't think it's advice so much from him. I think it's just kind of watching him day to day and how he goes about his business. He's comes to the rink with a smile on his face every morning. Whether we had a tough night or a good night the day before. So for a young guy like me, I think just picking up on that is just, you can't get way too high or too low, because there's just there's too many games, and you kind of want to stay more even keel and keep your energy at a good level. So for me, it's kind of watching his habits.
I've been to Belleville a couple of times. It's a nice little town. You live there, right? So what does the locker room do during like the off nights? Is there like a sort of spot that y'all go to? Is there what's the vibe going on? Let's say it's a Wednesday night, you play a game, you get a big W. Wednesday night, Thursday, what's the plan? Other than practice, I understand if you have. I know you got to go.
Yeah, when we're actually going golfing. A few of us are going golfing today because the weather's nice enough out. So I guess when the weather's nice, it's usually golf. In the winter, there's not a whole lot to do. Some guys will go ice fishing occasionally, and
cool.
Other than that, it's not a whole lot. Just hanging with the boys.
Are you going to be in the Masters someday, or we're just amateur right now?
I'm pretty average, but I love just getting out with the guys and kind of taking your mind off hockey for a bit.
Yeah, what's the crew that you usually go with? Sorry.
Usually just my roommates. I'm rooming with Parker Kelly, who's up right now, and then
He's a beauty.
Cole Reinhardt and Mark Kostelik. So
what's that experience been like with Parker Kelly? Because I haven't spoken to him, obviously, but on the ice, that guy, he's in your face whenever he's on the ice. So I mean, I'm sure he has a real fun personality to be around.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Definitely had a lot of good times at the house this year, and some laughs, and he's obviously a hell of a player on the ice too. Like you said, he's always in the other team's face and kind of driving them nuts. So he's definitely a good guy to have on your side.
Now, last couple questions, because I know you're really busy, and I do appreciate you taking some time out of your day to do this, Jacob. You mentioned that you played some NHL games before, and obviously you're going to be playing many, many more in the near future. What are your expectations going into next season? Have you spoken to the Sens organization? And what do you want to work on going into next year as well?
Yeah, in terms of working on stuff, we're probably just continuing to get better. And I know it's a bit of it's a process, and it's not something that I need to rush. And I think just taking as much as I can. These games that have a lot of meaning here at the end of the season for us are going to be good for me to play in games that are high paced playoff like games. And going to next year, obviously, I just want to have a good summer of training. And now I really know what to expect out of a full pro season. With the energy demands and stuff like that. So I think just knowing that I got to trust the process and it's all going to work out.
Yeah. I just want to ask one last thing, actually, because when you mentioned about the process, Lassie Thompson is sort of in the similar spot with you. You both were drafted like a year or so difference, and you guys have both a similar type of trajectory where you're both expected to be top four defensemen in the National Hockey League. Lassie gets called up sometimes, you get called up sometimes. I feel like you guys definitely have had to speak about your experiences, what to expect, give each other advice, etc.
Yeah, for sure. I think Lass he's a hell of a player, and
yeah,
I think there was a point this season where I didn't see him for like 2 months because he was up, then I was up, then he was up, and but it's nice to be back playing with him here, and he's got a really bright future, and I think we definitely try to learn from each other. We're both young guys, obviously trying to get to the National Hockey League, and I think as young D-men, it's definitely not easy to step right in. So we're just trying to, learn as much as we can here from our D coach, Belzy, and really take in, what the coaching staff has to say here. And, hopefully one day we're both in Ottawa together.
Well, good luck the rest of the way, Jacob. I really appreciate you taking the time. 8 games ago, we hope to see you in the playoffs.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it.